Coach, congratulations. What a win. Not just a dominating win tonight, but you followed up a dominating win from Friday, two in a row now. What do you credit that to? Do you feel like your team has turned a corner somehow?
Again, I've said it several times. We had a 4-game winning streak earlier in the year. There's no corners. I mean, it's just a long, straight road. It's a marathon. It's a grind. As soon as you think you've turned a corner and we've got it now, then you'll go back and play a Minnesota game. I mean, no, it's what you bring every single night. And I think the first 3 games here after the break have shown one thing. Like, we're capable of being very, very good, and we're capable of being very, very bad. And it's all about what we bring to the game. We have competed much harder on the defensive end of the floor the last 2 games, and that has set up our offense, quite honestly. I mean, we're getting stops and rebounds. Clippers are a great offensive team. You're not going to shut them down. But I thought we did a great job of being into people and making it hard on them. I think they felt us a little bit tonight. And then on offense, I mean, our ball movement, they really tried to load up on our 2 best players, and those guys were willing to get off the ball. And then the other guys made plays. I mean, Lonzo got us off to a great start, shooting the 3, opening up the floor. Bledsoe with 8 assists. But then if you look, Bled had 8 assists, Zion 5, BI 5, Lonzo 5, Kyra 4. I mean, the ball just moved freely. I mean, we played very, very unselfishly on the offensive end, and then we shot the ball well, which obviously helps you. But we had 72 points in the paint. I mean, it just, when you start making shots, the floor opens up. Just a good night all the way around.
It was a season high in assists, as a matter of fact. Let me take you back to defense. What did you like best about what you saw out of the defensive effort tonight?
I just thought we were into people more. We weren't letting them. We talked a lot about not letting them play with space, and really getting into them. And I thought we made it tough. I mean, look, they've got really good players, and those guys, are you're not going to shut them down. But I thought we made it tough on them, and then we rebounded the ball. And I think, that's all you can do is play people tough, make them take as difficult the shots as you can, make them feel you. I thought we did all of that tonight.
Well, Coach, I'd like to go a little bit further on the defensive end, because we talked about how good of a free throw shooting team the Clippers are, but you were able to defend without fouling, especially in the first half. They really didn't get to the line that much and take advantage of that. So was that impressive as well?
Well, it's important against them. Until the last quarter, I mean, we really didn't foul a lot. Maybe the last couple minutes of the third too, but we did a really good job. And yeah, that's all important. I mean, you want to take away easy buckets and the whole thing. I thought the few times we were forced into rotations, our guys made great effort. Our closeouts were better. We still left our feet a few times, but our closeouts were better. And, just a good night.
That's 2 straight games now that you've gone into halftime with a pretty sizable lead. And then in the third quarter, you've extended the lead. And a lot of that has to do with what your bench has done. Again, just how important has it been to see the bench perform the way they have, to not have any slippage when the starters go off?
Yeah, no, they've been good. Our starters have built the leads. First and third quarters, our starters jumped on people. But then, those guys in the bench are holding their own. And so that's really, really important. I mean, at one point, I was looking at a timeout and I'm like, holy cow. I mean, this is a bunch of young dudes and they're playing really, really well. I like the energy. I thought our guys competed really hard, and that's really what it's all about for us: the defensive end of the court, competing, and then just playing together offensively.
Stan, Christian Clark here. One of the issues for Jackson since he came into the league has been contesting without fouling. 1 foul tonight, 24 minutes. Seemed like he was able to alter some shots. What did you see from him on the defensive end?
He's getting better. I mean, his activity is great, and the fouls sort of go up and down with him. There's had nights where he's had fouls, but tonight he did a good job and didn't. I think they're playing going in, right, was they were going to run pick and rolls with Z's man. I thought Z did a good job. I thought our guards did a good job getting over the picks. I thought BI took the challenge on Kawhi. The last time we played with guys out, Josh started on him. Brandon didn't have to guard him. That's a tough matchup for anybody. And I thought Brandon took the challenge there. And look, I've been talking to those two guys. They are great offensive players who have bright futures. But if they want to go from great players putting up big numbers to winning players and guys who can lead a team to wins, then they got to play both ends of the floor. The best teams in the league have LeBron James and Anthony Davis who play both ends. And these two guys, Kawhi and Paul George, play both ends, even Boston's young guys. And that's what our guys have to strive for. And tonight, they put forth a lot better defensive effort, both of them. And if those guys are willing to put it in and defend like that, then we've got a chance to be a very good team.
Yeah, Stan, I mean, by the time you pull all of starters in the fourth quarter, you guys were north of 70% from the field. I guess, what are you thinking during the course of the game, just watching your team execute on offense?
Well, we still only shot 26 threes. Now, we made them tonight, but we were on the attack, we were on the attack. And they were trying to blitz BI on his pick and rolls, and he was a willing passer. So we got some buckets inside that way. And then because we had made some shots, I think, Zion got room to go to the basket, and we know if he gets room to go to the basket, you're not going to stop him very often.
Hey, Stan, Scott Kushner, I know this might be a remarkably simple or stupid question. You've mentioned the spectrum of how well you guys can play and how poorly you can play. Having watched it now in the same week, is there anything that you have done differently or anything that you've seen differently as far as entering a game that would make you believe as to which side you're going to get and how to coax that more often? Or is that just something that is almost impossible to kind of figure out until you're watching it, halfway through the third quarter?
Yeah, no, I really don't know, Scott, because even in the Minnesota game, I said it after the game, we started well. So no, I can't tell. I'm not sure any coach can. Sometimes you have an inkling, but it's all about what we bring, and you could tell early on tonight and early on in the Cleveland game that at least at the start, we were ready to compete at the defensive end of the floor. That, just our disposition was great. Now, the question for us has always been, how are we going to sustain? And we've done a better job the last two games of sustaining over the course of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned the way Jackson is playing on both ends of the floor right now. Just what do you think about the way he responded to, losing a spot in the rotation to Billy for that short stretch and then getting back and playing the way he has these past few games?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask him how much that had to do with it, but he has played really, really well. And again, just like with our team, it's natural after not playing to be fired up when you get your chance and go out and play. To become really good as an individual or as a team, you have to do it night after night after night after night after night. And that's the challenge. It's a challenge for team. It's a challenge for players. And it's more of a challenge for everybody in the league this year for what's going on. But that determines what separates the really good players from everybody else and the really good teams from everybody else is not what you're capable of doing on one great night, because every team in the league has that. Every player in the league has that. It's what you do night after night after night. And so a lot of that emotional stuff, I haven't been playing, I'm all fired up, I'm playing a team that traded me, whatever it is. And you have all that emotion. That's great, but that's not going to carry you through the long haul of the season. What carries you through the long haul of a season as a team and players is habits. You build the habits of this is how we play every single night. This is how I defend. This is how I approach the game. This is how I play unselfishly. You build those habits, and then you have a chance to be consistent. And we've still got a long way to go to be there to where it's every night, or at least 9 out of 10 nights, that's the way we approach the game, individually and as a team. And that's what we're talking about, and that's hopefully what we're working toward.